What's a harmless prank to play on your friends? Line up a round of shots of water and tell everyone it's tequila or some clear liquor. The facial reactions are priceless. I just put in a dozen reminders on Alexa at my brother's house that will come up the next 6 months, usually during dinner or breakfast, when they should all be around. Remind me in 2 months at 7 PM that Tyler's butt smells. Remind me on the 7th of October at 7:15 AM that uncle is awesome and smells like rainbows and unicorn farts. He has a bunch of kids, so I think they will laugh well. I put a browser extension on my coworker's computer that gave it a 1% chance of loading a John Cena video every time he loaded a website. It would happen once or twice a day. It drove him nuts. On his last day, I walked into his office playing John Cena's walk-up music, which he immediately turned off. When I explained it to him, his only reaction was, "I'm so impressed. Tell me this browser extension. It's for a friend." Senafi. The best part is that my buddy was logged into Chrome with his personal email, so when I added the extension, it added to his home Chrome too. He had no idea how John Cena followed him everywhere he went. I had a roommate that was a major gym nut. He would have raw eggs in his protein shakes all the time. So one day he did something to annoy me, and that night, when I had a decent buzz going, I hard-boiled all of his eggs and put them back into the refrigerator. My dad is a huge swimmer, and we had a backyard pool when I was growing up, but my dad absolutely hated cold water. He always had the pool heated to around 80 to 90 Fahrenheit. The electricity bill in the winter was insane, and he got mad if anyone messed with the pool heater. One year, he had a business trip to Europe and consequently got home really late the night of the 31st of March. My mom came up with the idea to buy a bunch of ice and then dump it in the pool after my dad went to bed. A bunch of our neighbors caught wind of this and offered to help, which my mom gladly agreed to, and they all brought a bunch of ice too. We left the pool thermometer out on the patio so it wouldn't register the cold water, and then we proceeded what must have been over 100 bags of ice into the pool, after turning off the heater of course. The next morning, when my dad went for a swim, we got woken to the joyous noises of a string of beautifully put together strands of swear words. Ah, the memories. Although he really upped his April Fool's game up big time after that. Put googly eyes on everything in their refrigerator when they are not looking. I did this just to the eggs. You'd have thought a demon was trying to kill my roommate at 4:30 AM. At one point when I was a middle school teacher, I bought bulk googly eyes and put them on everything. Co-worker stuff, teacher stuff, every phone I could find, and tons of other things. Then started rumors of a googly eye bandit among the students. Teachers would spend their whole lunch break discussing and trying to figure out which student was doing it. It was a lot of fun. I always enjoyed putting sticky notes over the laser on their computer mouse and watching them try to figure out why it isn't responding. I did this with a coworker once and it was hilarious. Instead of a sticky note, I taped a picture of a troll face over the laser. I listened to him make frustrated grumbles to himself for several minutes while I was trying to keep it together. When he finally turned his mouse over, he yelled "Dang it OP" from across the room, at which point we both lost it. It's an excellent, harmless prank. Definitely recommend. On April Fool's a few years ago, I wore my name tag upside down at work. Whenever a club member brought it to my attention, I glanced down at it, looked up confused, and said it looks right side up to me. /dad jokes. This is very funny. I'll be doing just this in the future. Somebody once signed me up for a bunch of free magazine subscriptions. It was several years ago and I still have no idea who it was. One day I started receiving a bunch of random magazines, from home gardening to crochet ones, all in my name. I did this to my friend, a grown-ass man getting 3 different subscriptions to youth equestrian magazines. Still haven't confessed, and he brings it up from time to time. After they leave your place, text them "You forgot your phone here." Bonus point if you take a picture of their phone on your kitchen table before they leave and send it with a text. I didn't think this will work until I remembered that one time I was looking for my phone while using it as torch. I once tried to find my phone by calling it from my phone. Hide excess Pokemon or Magic the Gathering cards in their stuff. Had a buddy who was finding energy cards years after the initial prank. I did that with business cards to a co-worker once. Corporate furnished us with business cards, but within a 3-month period, we had title changes, promotions, and a change in corporate logo, and I got a new box of 500 business cards each time. So only 500 of my 1,500 business cards were usable by the end of the 3 months. I tucked those cards everywhere in her stuff and she was finding them for years. Grab a couple photos from around their house and snap a good well-centered picture with your phone. Then Photoshop something fun into the background, such as a dinosaur, Bigfoot, Elvis, or even just add yourself to a bunch of their photos. Reprint the new version of the picture in the same dimensions. Next time you're around, slip it into the frame over top the original. So long as you don't damage the original, it can be a fun game of see how long until they notice. We have an Alexa at my work. One of my co-workers set an alarm to go off on a day I was at work and she wasn't. At 9 AM it started blasting Baby Shark. Scared the ever-living hell out of me. My old boss did this to his wife just before I moved out of state, except it was while she was home alone. And it was Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On through the whole house. Randomly point at nothing on the ground. Watch out. Haha. I had just gotten into photography a couple years ago and I was at a somewhat tourist place and everyone noticed I had a real camera, and I saw another guy with a camera too. So I went up to him and asked if he wanted to mess with people and he said of course. So we set up our cameras on our tripods aimed at the most mundane boring rock we could find. Talked for 10 minutes loudly about the photo, switched lenses, etc. and made a huge scene, then walked away and watched as all the tourists went up and got pictures of that same rock. Some were more subtle than others and some just walked right up, took a photo and left. I had quite a smile on my face all day after that, imagining them looking through their photos a month later wondering what the hell was up with that damn rock that's in all their photos. Hire a local actor to run into you and your friend while you are somewhere and recognize you as someone famous. Have them start speaking gibberish and you answer back in gibberish before taking a selfie with them. Then have them just leave extremely excited. When your friend asks what that was all about, just say something in gibberish, and when they say, "What?" just say, "Oh sorry," and say, "It was nothing," and keep the charade going until your dying day. I had a friend do something similar with my parents. A couple of us planned that if either of us saw one of the others with someone who wouldn't recognize us, we'd act real shady and say, something take care of him, next time be careful while getting rid of it. We almost got caught. My parents kept asking me about it for a couple days, and got more and more impatient before I finally gave in. One time a friend of mine made a listing on Craigslist for live chickens, at I guess an absurdly low price, and put his friend's contact information. He got messages and calls all day about picking up the chickens. My friend that sits next to me at work was on vacation, and my vacation started the day she got back. I packed up all my stuff and locked it in my desk drawers, and when she came back I got a panic text asking what happened, and why was my desk clear. I told her I got fired. She believed it for 2 days before one of the managers made me come clean, because she was trying to snag all my shifts for overtime and extra holiday pay. Smart on her part. A friend of mine sent unmarked postcards featuring different chimpanzees to me about once a week, for more than a year. They all had the same message: having a great time, wish you were here, love me. They all misspelled my name in different ways. They came from all over the world. She'd coordinated with a bunch of people she knew internationally. It got to the point where I saw my letter carrier, and he'd shake his head and ask, "Another one?" I never figured out who was sending them until she fessed up. I know this is a Bare Naked Ladies song. I believe that was the inspiration. I sent large conspicuous boxes to my friends labeled Dr. Robusto's Micropenis Enlargement Kit. The side said reusable, why not refurbished, like new, on the side instead. Lightly used. Duct tape a harmonica to the grill of your BFF's car. When your loved ones hit 40 miles per hour, they'll hear beautiful wailing sounds reminiscent of Neil Young. For my friend's 30th birthday, I updated the autocorrect option on her home laptop, that whenever she typed in her name, it corrected to old lady. This is more for the workplace. Put up a sign next to the communal printer/photocopier saying something like, "Due to COVID, this machine is now voice activated. Sit back and enjoy." I spent $9 on a 1,000 pack of pharmacy stickers that say, "For Ectal use only," got super high, and stuck them everything in our house that belongs to my husband. For flavor I did it again a week later, and we are still finding some. My husband hated the bag of mini cucumbers, each of his left shoes, his iPad charger, and the eggs are in bottle the most. I gave the other ring of stickers to my brother-in-law who is a firefighter. I highly suggest. When one of your friends gets married, sign the guest book with a random name and put a really ugly present on the gift table from the same person. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.